All right. Good morning, everyone. We'll get the doors opened up here. We got a big crowd coming in with us today. Dave, I'm going to make you co-host. So for those that haven't met before, my name is Dan. I'm with tradingology.com. And we have with us Dave, who is also from our friends over at Strong Market. Welcome, Dave. Good to see you today. We have a lot of our members in here today, and we have a lot of people that have just been following us for a while, and we open up this trading room to everybody. So we appreciate you guys joining us today. Good to see you.
Yeah. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, everybody. Glad you could join us.
Hey, BD. Good to see you.
Pretty interesting developments here. We're going to discuss a lot of things, including markets, the election, anything else we happen to think about. And of course, today we have the chairman of the Federal Reserve speaking.
Yeah, because we don't have enough going on, right? We have the election. Let's throw in an FOMC meeting.
That's right. Yes, we need more events, more potential volatility events. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, it looks like the market is anticipating somebody actually winning this election. And it really kept up in the last hour because I've been kind of trading pre-market here, and as the market opened. But I guess there's no announcement, right?
I have not seen anything either as well. Nothing's changed from last night.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but I think everybody's pricing in a Biden win, it looks like.
Yeah, for those that are curious too, and we're talking about these events that happen, we have a nice calendar that I like to watch. I'll drop the link in the chat here, but we see here today the FOMC statement. Federal funds rates on here, we're not expecting that since they've already said they're not going to change rates for 2 or 3 years. So they're still predicting 0 to 0.25%. So we don't expect that. But yeah, between the press conference and his announcement, and we did have unemployment claims this morning, which were close to forecast, but yet still another 750,000 new unemployment claims.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
So that's a nice one we like to watch just for events that happen. And I filter it down to only the high events or the high potential impact events. So I'll drop that in the chat for anyone that hasn't seen Forex Factory before. It's a nice calendar. And if you guys got any questions along the way, definitely let us know inside the chat. We'll do our best to keep up with it. And again, appreciate you guys coming out. So anyone that hasn't seen, these are futures markets on the major indexes that I watch here. So the YM is the Dow, ES is SPY, the NASDAQ, and the RTY. So I'm watching the 4 major indexes. And up at the top here are indicators that we leverage from the Strong Market team for market internals. So looking at advancing declining issues, as well as the overall markets and how they are interpreted from straight off the market internals. So not taking any bias, but purely data driven. And I will be announcing some info on how you can get your hands on these later today if you are looking for additional instruments for flying the plane, as Dave liked to call it.
That's right. You can't fly without the instrument. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's get into this a little bit. So, I don't know if you've looked at PLTR recently, but that's one that I put out into the real-time update service. Just skyrocketing today, up 8.35%. That was one that I identified about 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, in the real-time update service. And if you guys weren't paying attention to that, it's just it's really doing nicely today, that's for sure. A couple of stocks that, yeah, there you go. Look at that. Just a really, really nice move up. IPO just about maybe a month or so ago. Planeteer, they do big data. They have contracts with a lot of government agencies. Really interesting company. I like it very much, and I started accumulating a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we're up definitely there. That's what, almost 10% up, probably with just a slight pullback right now, but it's pushing 8 to 10% up. Beautiful move there. Nice find.
Yeah, very, very nice move there. That was a new IPO, really doing well. You could have also gotten into, which one, we haven't really looked at it in a while, but there is a new fund that came out about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. Maybe it was over the summer, I'm not sure, but the symbol is IPO. Let's take a look at that, see what that's doing today. Got a little bit into that.
That one's thinking a little bit. Let's go. There we go. Oh yeah, big jumps this week.
Yep, that's doing nicely.
We got down
So
around
if you
50
don't-
now. It's up 10% off that low.
Yeah. So if you don't want to go directly into an individual IPO, this fund will actually invest in the IPOs, and you can get it all in one.
BD's asking our buying options on these. You mean the PLTR?
Oh, PLTR has very active and very liquid options. PLTR, that is definitely one that I would definitely, I love PLTR for that reason, really, is because if I do need to hedge it a little bit, if I want to do something, if I want to write some calls on it, if I want to sell some puts on it so I can accumulate at a lower price, lots of very liquid options. Just take a look at the yeah, you want to kind of, I don't know,
Closer one.
I don't know, that's not, yeah, I guess that's pretty good, but typically they're all pretty liquid, which I was surprised at. It looks like there's a lot of, yeah, there you go. I mean, the ones close to expiration are probably much more liquid, but they are, I mean, the spreads are a nickel. You get lots of open interest and volume. So, you know, and they do have a pretty good spread there from $4 all the way up to 20 on the strikes. Very nice. So I do like PLTR for that reason. In way of disclosure, I have been in it for a while, and I still like it. I also like the way MGI is looking. I don't know if you looked at MGI in a while, but they had their earnings announcement last week, and they just did they actually made money. So I think it's the first time in quite a while for MGI. They made 16 cents a share. They got an initial pop up on the earnings there, pulled back a little bit. I think this is a great opportunity. I picked up some more shares this morning for myself in a way of disclosure, but I really do like MGI. I think they're really turning the corner here. They're doing since transmitting money typically has been like you go into a CVS and you use their kiosk, or you go into to use the MoneyGram kiosk, or you can go into one of their affiliate shops and send money to your family or friends overseas. Now they're like doing everything online, and they've really cut their fees, but I think they're increasing the volume because people aren't willing to go out to, the MoneyGram physical shops, the money transmitter shops, or the CVS, or wherever they happen to be, where there's a kiosk. They're doing everything online, and now they're turning the corner on their earnings. So very, very, very nice there. And they, of course, they have a relationship with Ripple. They've been using XRP as a settlement asset for a while into different currencies. And they're starting to ramp that up, and they're seeing the cost savings.
Yeah, we see these are our targets that we had last year. We had a buy option down here right around $3. So are you still looking at maybe a target up around 10 potentially, or what's your revamped target?
That is my target. I'm still looking for MGI to hit just close to 10 there, just under 10 maybe. Might dip over 10, but then I think we'll see another pullback for a few months or a few weeks maybe. I don't know. I guess it kind of depends. We'll have to kind of see what it looks like at that point. But I definitely like the looks of it right now. I think some people sold on the news when the earnings came out, dipped back down. I can see it climbing that flagpole right there.
Yeah, I'm sure there was probably plenty of people that may have been underwater for a while riding this out, that when this popped up, they definitely sold some deals or so. Definitely can understand that little mini sell-off, especially on right after earnings reports. That's very common, right? Where we see a big move, then a big move back. So yeah, I wouldn't say that would be scary at all. That's just a matter of over time, and then it's set up to move, keep going. It's in the uphill trend now.
Yep. And BD and PLTR, I'm buying the stock outright. It's pretty inexpensive. It's like $11 now. So, and I'll hedge it with options if I need to, but I'm buying the stock outright.
That's the nice thing about the old beaten up stock strategy is they're not high dollars, so you can actually buy them and not tie up a ton of capital, right?
Yeah, that's right. Another one I like very much, and this is a cryptocurrency play actually, because it's Mara, M-A-R-A. It is a blockchain. It is a mining company, blockchain mining company. They roll very, very similar to cryptocurrencies. So if you start to see cryptocurrencies go up, Mara is going to benefit from that.
That's the patent company, right?
What's that?
Is that the patent company, MARA? Is that a different one?
I'm sorry, what company?
It's called, is it this Marathon Patent Group or no?
Yes, that's the one we looked at some time ago. We actually took a position in it when it was back, I don't know, earlier in the year. I think it was maybe the summer. We wrote it up to about 450, and then it's pulled back now, and it looks like it's starting to make another turn higher. And it's basically it's a blockchain play. So it's on the NASDAQ. It's an inexpensive stock. It's been beaten up. Now, if you go way back, if you take a look at their previous high, I mean, at one point they were
yeah, 80s.
$85. Yeah. So you know, there's a lot of overhead. Yeah. I mean, people got stuck at 85, but a lot of overhead there. But I also think that because Mara's been in this long decline for so long, there may not be as much overhead as we think. And so it's got some blue skies after it reaches maybe, you know, that $5 level, which it hit just recently. It could, you know, shoot up to maybe 20. So that's one. If let's say you don't want to play cryptocurrencies, you don't want to go in and buy Bitcoin or any of the other coins that you can mine, Ethereum, you can buy this as a proxy.
Yeah. Speaking of Bitcoin, it's just about to hit 15,000 right now.
Yes. Yeah, well, it did actually this morning. I think it hit it very, very briefly and kind of backed off a little bit. If you take a look at the high, maybe not. Maybe it didn't hit it. It was real close.
14,975 I got.
Yeah, I got 14,988 on Coinbase. So it didn't quite hit 15, but you know what? If you want to play Bitcoin, you can hit Mara at $2.50.
Right.
Watch that thing run to 20 when Bitcoin really takes off. That's the percentage return is going to be pretty similar.
And we see across the board, the crypto's been beaten up recently, but they're coming back today. VET's up 10%, XRP's up 4.5%, Ethereum's up 8%.
I just picked up some more.
I heard the magic symbol, the bling.
Yep, I just picked up some more tomorrow. In fact, that's my daughter's name. Right?
That's why you buy it.
That's why I buy it.
It's going to be your inheritance. Oh yeah, we're going off the charts. I got to readjust.
I mean, unbelievable. S&P 500 up 77. Stocks up 554. I think we could go to 30,000 here. I mean, that's not really that far away anymore.
No, 1,500 only. That's a couple days for this week.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. The chat room, we were talking in the Slack room. My wife's 401k came back to life. I thought I made a mistake a couple of weeks ago by getting her out. Whoops. Jeez, I hit another one here.
You just bought more.
I just bought more. I thought that I had destroyed my wife's 401k because I got her back into stocks, and all of a sudden we're up like 2,000 points. So.
Well, and the interesting part too is looking at what levels that we're seeing on the supply demand indicators and these size of these moves. Like yesterday we were up and then we pulled back a little bit at the close, but We weren't even above 5 on the supply demand level here from market timer. That's really odd.
Yeah, that is pretty strange. What are we looking at today? So we've got
They were at 6 right now. And
yeah.
we're
See,
up
that's not super strong. Although the
13 on the New York.
13 on New York. Okay, so it's not super strong. Now we still have a risk, I think, because out the other day, the market's initial reaction to an election is, hey, it's over. We have some clarity. It looks like Biden's going to come in and maybe become president. He's going to give a lot of money out to people. People are going to go out and spend money, which is the driver of the economy. Consumer, we're a consumer-led economy, a debt-led economy, but people are going to have more money in their pockets. They're going to go out and spend it, and that's going to be good for the economy. So the stock market is kind of pricing that in. If that does not happen, for some reason, we could see a reversal here and drop 5,000 points in a day. But right now, boy, it sure does look really bullish, at least this week.
Yeah, I kind of started squeezing in, looking at a couple of weeks in a row here. So before the election and then prior, or excuse me, since. And that's the most gaps I've seen on a daily basis in quite a long time. And I was looking at the oscillator here for more of the swing position, and we've been buried up at 10 for a couple of days. It's trying to dip down. It can't stay at 10 forever. We know nothing goes up forever. And it's a matter of it's looking like, yesterday was it was given that, hey, we could roll over look. That could have been the end of the party, but we gapped up once again, and it's buried up at 10 again. So that's got me a little that's putting my warning bells off, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if it's hugging that 10 line, that is really a bit of a warning sign there, because we have been at an extremely high bullish level of bullish herding. Now the oscillator there is really, it measures the herding of financial participants, either bullish or bearish. And just like you can't be in a euphoric emotional state for very long before you crash. Same thing may happen here with the NASDAQ, but it certainly does look bullish at this moment. BD says, looks to me like the fraud will turn election. Would that crash the market? Well, yeah, it probably could. Most definitely. Well, there goes Mar. Mar's taken off. I'm glad I got those shares in before it moved.
So there's the view Dave was talking about, the herding. So here's how this balance of power shows out, where the green is all bullish herding, red's bearish herding. So we see the downturns that we were seeing, and it is normal to see back and forth. We never see the market go one way forever, no matter what. So we expect to see back and forth, right? The market's never one-sided for very long.
Right.
But we're on an extended bull run here for sure.
Yeah. So the balance of power is the same. It's on the spreadsheet. So if you guys are just joining us for the first time, we publish a spreadsheet after the close every single night, and it measures the bullish and bearish herding. And there it is right there on a visual level. It shows who's really in control of the market, whether it's the bulls or the bears. And each one of those filled in boxes is a representation of the participants who have bought. See, this is important. This is not theory. This is not, just a sentiment or a guess. This is measurement of participants who have bought long or short positions in the market or sold. And so it's real money put into the stock market. Now, this measures the NYSE specifically, and it is highly correlated to the changes in the S&P 500 and in the Dow, but mostly the S&P 500. High correlation there, and so you can visually look at it and see, hey, are more participants selling or selling short? or more participants in the market buying or going along. And, you know, we have, geez, I think that spreadsheet goes all the way back to 2016.
Yeah, this one does itself for sure. So we can look at before, let me get the date in here. Here's January. So this is the start of the year before the crash happened. We get the early warning signs that we see a few things happening. So here's January with some bearish herding starting, and then late February, then here's all the results. And so here's what that bearish herding looks like when the market was just dropping. As I highlight these, you know, there's a 10,000 point drop on the Dow itself in that month. So that's when we saw that. So here's all that shows out and what we see in the spreadsheet. So we're able to take, I like to call it the barometer of what the market's doing, right? We use this to see what's the nature of the market right now, where are people actually putting their money. It's again data driven, right? So we see the bullishness here then go away. So I find it interesting that the day after the election, the bearish herding completely disappeared, and then we rose. So the lack of the herding is bullish itself, and we saw that in the returns or in the results. And we also have here, for people that haven't seen this before, is this very important market timer volatility. So there's levels upon levels, and we won't go into the full spreadsheet today. You can definitely see what all these columns mean. You can check the YouTube channel, and we review exactly how we leverage the spreadsheet. So check that out. But that's very important. So we're still in the 90s. So we're still elevated levels of volatility. And just because we have, you know, 1,000 points, 1,300 points up in 3 days before today. So add in today, and we're another 500 or whatever up right now. So that's close to 2,000. That's still high volatility, and we still have potential for snapback. So that's one thing that we always pay attention of. So we'll give you brief glimpses into what we use here and what we're looking at. So that's where all these algorithms come from, is from all of the calculations within this spreadsheet. And so there's different ways. So that's where these oscillators come from. That's where the supply demand levels come from that we were looking at. And that's where these charts all come from. So they're all derived from that market timer spreadsheet that the Strong Market team developed and Dave developed years ago. And now look, the SPX is literally off the chart. I got to move. There we go.
Yeah.
600 up. I was wrong. Sorry. I correct myself. In that 5 minutes, we jumped up another 100. All right. I saw.
So it doesn't, I mean, I don't know what your opinion is here, but I think it doesn't look like Trump's going to go down without a fight. And he's going to continue to, you know, file lawsuits. You know, I don't think he's going to let this go easily.
I completely understand asking for recounts on the closed states. Absolutely, I would do the exact same thing. The part I don't understand, and riddle me this, Batman, is how can you try and file a lawsuit to stop counting? Since when is there a limit on when you stop counting?
Yeah, I don't get that. It's kind of really an interruption of the process, the legal process, and yeah. I mean, hey, you know, the votes are in. You got to count them. I mean, you can't let them just sit there. So
right.
I really don't get that part. I think what he was objecting to was the fact that they had an observer there. They have the right to observe the mail-in ballots to make sure that they're legal. And but the guy who went to do the observation was given a pair of binoculars to look at them from 100 feet away.
Wow.
So,
yeah, so I did hear something about that too.
You know, unless they hold them up and he tries to verify each one that's not, you know, if you have 5 in a row that have the exact same signature on it, that has the, you know, the same, I don't know how they do mail-in ballots without some sort of fraud. Is possible? You know, I mean, isn't there more room for fraud with mail-in ballots? It seems
well, that's the whole system. Just I don't understand as well. Like, so, not to try and make this a political thing, but on neither side. So BD saying to stop importing the fakes. Exactly. How do you know? Like they don't card you. They might look at your license and see where you live to make sure you're in the right district, but they're not verifying who you are. And then who's
Right.
to say I can't show up and say I'm my neighbor because they don't actually card you. And then who's to say I didn't do an absentee ballot and I've already mailed one in. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm waiting for the day. I'm surprised that we haven't already seen like a 600 million turnout when we only have 300 million people that live here. You know, what are they going to do then?
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
if
obviously,
anything,
obviously because of the pandemic, they're had more mail-in ballots this year than any other, probably any other year, ever.
yeah, they can't stop it is the thing
No,
with
they
this
can't.
system. So that's a huge issue.
And then the postal service doesn't deliver. I mean, they didn't deliver any of them. What, in Maine? I mean, all of them never got delivered. So, hey, if we're going to have an equal and legitimate and trustworthy process, then the postal service has to prioritize those, right? And there's other districts in other states where they didn't get, they hardly got anything at all.
Yeah. So if anything, if any of you guys are out there that are in the blockchain industry and know people, we need to get that conversation moving along because that's what's going to save elections eventually is true transparency and true security by leveraging some type of blockchain technology and the
Yep,
voting.
global ID, and verification on your phone and vote.
Yep. That way you can verify only each person gets one vote and you
Yes.
know who that person is.
Exactly.
That's going to take forever, but we got to start somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Enough of the rant on that. We couldn't avoid it this week, right? But that's what happens.
Yeah, Wisconsin and Michigan. Yeah, definitely, BD.
And we see what we call here the stair stepping up of the orders coming in. So these are the up down volume and everything is up right now. The market makers are doing their best to control that, the fair and orderly market, as we like to say. So we are buried to the bearish side, or the bullish side for sure still this morning. We see a little bit of pullback on the futures, but that absolutely happens. Just because that turns around a little bit and will bounce off this level, probably take it higher if they keep reversing things. Yes, exactly. There's going to be more voters than registered. You got it, BD. It's going to happen. I think I saw Wisconsin. We did see a report last night where there was 101% turnout, right? We actually saw that on the news. There was like 101.9 turnout. It was a record.
That's insane. It is a record.
Wow. All right. All right.
I can see a guy in his basement with a big photocopy machine, cranking out the ballots with different signatures on it and just like folding them up and putting them in the mail or hand delivering them. I think they had 100,000 ballots hand delivered. Now, did the guy run around in a truck or a van and collect all those ballots? 100,000 of them? Wow. He's really industrious.
Right.
Put him on the payroll.
Lots of dead people voting. Well, it's just like all the dead people getting stimulus checks. How many of those are floating out there still?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I should probably let you have a sneak peek on. Oh, did I have it loaded up here? Let me see if I have it loaded up here. I do. Let me get this chart adjusted for you. So I've been doing some work on a new strategy because we always like new strategies to make things easier. And I'm not ready to release it yet. I'm still testing it. But let me give you a little peek into it. So this is leveraging trading one contract at a time in the futures market. And let me get this. Where's my time? Here we go. I need to adjust this down to a 5-minute chart. And I did a trade, I think it was the day before. It was the second. So let me pull up the second, which was, yeah, here we go. This was on the NQ. earlier this week. And it's leveraging VWAP, and then some information around it. So what I did is VWAP is the green line here. So I've modified Thinkorswim script slightly. And then our members are going to get this once I release it. So if you're looking to get some new things. So what I did is I'm leveraging VWAP, and I found, looking historically, that the volume weighted average price tends to revert to it more than not, actually quite a bit more than not. So we're able to leverage levels when it gets too far away that it's going to return. So I will typically do this only for long trades. You can do it for short trades as well, but they're not as probable as long trades. So what I do is when I get down to the light yellow, is it's a good entry for a long. So here we see, we touch here, you want the chart to close close to the line. So if it pushes back, that's not a good entry. So like right here would have been the entry right around 11.011.
Now, what's the, what line is that? Is it a standard deviation line? Is it an average weighted price on a different time frame?
It is a standard deviation line. You are correct, sir.
Okay.
So this is actually 2 standard deviations away. So this is 2, this is 3, and the stops are at 5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so this is where you place your stop. This is great for leveraging with the micros if you're just getting into trading. So it's only 1 contract. And this is all based on risk, obviously. As you guys know, those that don't know us, we're not personal investors. This is just ideas, what we're trading, what works for us, and just sharing. I'm finding something that's another way to leverage and take it out emotion and just trading off of details and data. So when they leverage this, you can go long and then just wait, because it's going to revert back to this green line. So you're trading from this line to this line is the setup. And if it gets down to the red line and the stop is set, so the stop doesn't follow the red line, it's when it's set. So right here, the stop would be set at 10.850, give or take whatever it was there, 854. So you set your stop at the time of your entry, and that doesn't change. And so we wait for the price to get back to the green line. And we see that took just before the end of the day, it happened. It was right at the close. I traded 1 contract. Let me grab my spreadsheet so I make sure I remember this right. On the NQ, since I'm not trading live, I'm doing a bunch of testing this week. So I was in at 11.014. The stop was at 10.858. My initial target I set is the green line when I enter the trade. So when I got in here, my initial target's here, but the target follows the line. So this was my target. That's exactly where I exited. And so the initial risk is 3,100 on a full E-mini contract with the initial profit of 2020. And the profit ended up being 11.75 at close. That was 1 contract on the NQ. So I'm going to continue testing this until I fully endorse it. But that is the current one I'm at now. Excuse me. I mentioned you can do it on shorts. I'm testing it on the shorts where I had another one. And actually, there's ways of re-entry, so I'll cover that later on. Ways that you can actually get back into the trade if you do get stopped out. And I did have that happen on the short side where it's more common. It's less probable, I say. So there was a 14.75 loss, but then I had a re-entry potential, and I recouped it back to a $300 loss total on the day, which actually came out to be about even because I had an ES trade the same day short, which profited $300. So I'm going to track all of these. I'll give you guys all the info on it here on where it bets out, but it's doing back testing on it, and it's about 70% win rates. So you win more than you lose. In the long run, you're good. So length of input, that's our daily, Rick. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm testing that, guy. So that's a fun one. And I really like it right when the market opens in the evening. This works super good. Not immediately right after, but give it a few. So you're on 5-minute bars here. And then the other key you want is horizontal lines. if it starts falling off a cliff or it's skyrocketing, you don't want to leverage it at that point. You want to see more horizontal movement because that's where we're going to trade back and forth. So here we see, then you're just trading from one to the other. So here we hit at 5:30. I'm in Central Time. Comes right back, boom, up here and hit, trades right back. Gets too far down this way, trades right back. Same thing here. This one's a little bit longer. So you got in here. You can also, I'm testing, maybe if we enter on the second one, that's another possibility. Or you can also test it where maybe you enter on the second touch. It's a less trades occur, but they are more probable. So if you don't do the first one, but you wait to the second touch, like here or here, then it trades right back. So which actually can give you a higher profit potential because it's further away. That's another way. So there's multiple ways you can leverage this. I'm just kind of setting up the framework, and we see it comes right back. Here, didn't quite get there, so that wasn't an entry, but short side, very close. And you can use your own risk management at that point in time too. Hey, if we're up, this is the NASDAQ, 10, 20 points, that's 80 ticks. That's a decent trade. Same thing here. Touches, comes right back to the green. Touches, back to the green. This is all just, coming into midnight or so. So there's 3, 4, 5 trades in one night just on the NQ. So that's another ways I'm looking at leveraging this. So it's a nice, the markets are closed, less volatility, things are moving slow. You can get in and you can get out. Obviously there's huge liquidity in the future. So this works on the NQ, works on the ES, works on the RTY. I don't have live data in my Trade-O-Bate, so I don't trade it on the YM, but you can do it there as well. I just stick to the triple market. So that's kind of the brief intro into what I'm testing out this week and building it out. I'd love to hear your thoughts, Dave.
Yeah, actually, when you sent it to me, I did test it out myself last night, and I made a couple little trades and did very well on the MES. And so it was after the open at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I was profitable on both of them. So I like it. I like it a lot. I think it makes a lot of sense. I haven't used the VWAP really, but the more I look at it, the more interesting it becomes. I think it kind of, a lot of the indicators that we use at Strong Market do use volume and issues and the internals. And so using it based on price and volume makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm looking forward to using it some more.
Nice. Yep, I'm gonna keep it going. Like we say, test it out. And the more I test it, the more I like it. So I will make it available to our members once it is released.
Rick says, Dan, can I share by email some similar work to this that I did?
Absolutely. Yeah, Rick, you can shoot it over to me. If you want me to pull it up here, I can take a look at it. You can shoot it over to support@tradingology.com, and I can jump on it. If you've already sent it, I can look, but let me know. Or if you want me to, we can do, okay, he's driving. Oh yeah, don't send it now if you're driving. Yeah, shoot it over. I'd love to hear about it, Rick.
Yeah, ES futures up 78 points. That's equivalent to about 780 Dow points, but the Dow is not quite up as much. It's up 2.13%. And futures are still rocking.
All right, Rick's going to send it over tonight. I appreciate it, Rick. And since we are doing this live today with a lot of our new friends here, we do appreciate you guys. If you guys are looking to get these indicators, they are all available. Tradingology is a reseller of the Strong Market scripts. So we have what's called the complete market timer system. So everything you've seen us talk about today, the balance of power, all these scripts, we'll include the new one too once it's released, is for the, I think I'm going to call it like VWAP lanes, trading in your lane or something. And I'm working on just a name so I know what people are talking about. Is we're offering everything today, half price for anything you need, or if you're looking to leverage what we've done over time, there is silver, gold, and elite membership availabilities for Tradingology. Everything is half price today. Just put in a coupon code of election, because why not? That's what this week is. So all day today, everything's 50% off.
What's the coupon code?
Election.
Oh, just election. Okay.
Just election is the code. And I'll show you, for those that haven't seen, just go to tradingology.com and there is a page you can do everything. And so if you got any questions, just hit up support@tradingology.com, or if you want to email me directly, I'm at dan@tradingology.com. And if you got any questions, what's going on, I know this is, you might be new to us, so you want to learn more, just let me know and I will hook you up. But right on the main page is the main memberships of Silver, Gold, and Elite. Everything that we've released over the years is there for learning, and it includes everything new. And Elite includes all of the complete market timer system, which you can also read about at the site. So I'll put a couple links. We'll get up this recording on YouTube, so if you guys missed any part of it, you can review it. But in the market timer system, you can see everything that's in there as well. So all the scripts are typically 2,500, so it'll be half price for that, half price for everything today. Unlimited access, updates to the spreadsheet you saw, so everything is there for you. And let us know if you got any questions.
It's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, what are we doing here? Yeah, little pullbacks. I have too many screens going off on me now.
Yeah, one of the interesting things I think in the market right now is this idea that we're pricing in a Biden win, and I don't know if it's that or it's just the fact that hedge funds. I heard an interesting comment from a market guy yesterday that I know, who said that the hedge funds were heavily long volatility going into the election. And yesterday they completely dumped all of their VIX futures. And that's why we had a collapse in volatility. And so, do hedge funds really have that great a track record? They're lucky if they get out with a 1% annual return these days. So we'll see. I think there's still more risk ahead of us, and the market is not pricing that in yet. But we shall see. I mean, the internals over the last 3 days are terrible. I mean, if we look at the spreadsheet again, you can see that we're still very high in empty volatility. We have the buy sell signal is still negative. We have the LT signal. I mean, we've been up fairly significantly 4 out of the last 5 trading sessions, and today would be the 6th. 5 out of 6 trading sessions, and the long-term signal really didn't move. Still pretty flat.
I took a look at it on the chart too, and this looks like it could just be a little pause before the next drop.
Before it rolls over, yeah. It does look like most of the turns in that signal are rounded like that. So if you look at the tops, you look at all the bottoms, they're all kind of rounded. Interesting. So I don't think we're out of the woods. We're not out of the woods yet.
What's the 10-year doing, BD? It looks like today it is down.
No, they do include.
No, that's the 20-year. Sorry.
Well, that's the average maturity on the TLT, but it skyrocketed higher. I'm not watching the 10-year as much as I'm watching the 30, because the 30 got up to like 1.7%, and now it's at 1.5. So the 30 really got bid up very, very sharply over the last couple of days. I'm sure if I have that on here. What's the ZN doing? If you want to take a look and see what the 10 years doing.
30 years down to 1.5 yesterday.
Yeah, it hit close to 1.7 towards the end of the month. And then, the 10 years from going 87 to 78.
Yeah,
Somebody's
87
buying
to 90 to 78. Wow.
87 to 78. Somebody's buying the 10 year, somebody's buying the 30 year, somebody's buying the 20 year. They're buying the longer maturities. So, are they anticipating that something's going to happen? I don't know. Hard to say.
I can pull it. Let's see. Yes, this is being recorded I have a few people asking me, so this will be available after the fact Absolutely.
Yeah, so the 10 years down a little bit today, but it followed the 30-year just on the day of the election. It just shot right up, which means that rates came down.
I don't know if you saw this, Dave. We'll have to look at this at a later time, but I see they just released VIX futures. Did you see that announcement from the CME?
Other VIX futures?
Yeah.
They already have VIX futures.
Or I saw a new email came out from the CME. I probably can't find it in time.
Maybe it's the micro E-mini VIX futures.
That's what it was. It literally was. It was a micro futures.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting.
Let me see if I can find what it is actually.
Now that's interesting.
Here we go. Micro E-mini equities. Let's see if they got the futures or the VIX in here. Let me just look for CME VIX micro. I know it came out.
Micro, yeah, just that one. So maybe they haven't put it on their website, but they made the announcement for it.
Yeah, I saw something.
The micro E-mini futures contracts have really done very well. When we covered it, when they were released in June, we said, "Hey, this is going to be great." So, boy, if they come out with a mini VIX futures, that's fantastic.
It was. I know it was there.
BD gold and silver. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. When the market went down last week, gold and silver both declined. I think that the deflationary scenario is back on. Now everybody's looking at the inflation scenario, but everything's all the relationships and the correlations have completely blown up over the last over this week. Because typically what'll happen is when we get a lowering of rates, the US dollar goes up. Well, in this case, the US dollar went down. And then now the market's going up and cryptocurrencies and gold and silver are going up. And also, I think oil was down this morning, but now it's turned positive.
Yeah, look at the gold futures.
All of the relationships are kind of messed up because usually oil will lead, stock futures will follow oil, and sometimes they'll follow, but if they're usually going up together. If they think economic conditions are going to improve, interest rates will rise, but instead they've declined. So all the relationships are kind of messed up, actually.
Yeah, the gold futures are touching 1950 this morning.
Well, they've gotten beaten up pretty good. I mean, they were up close to 2,000, right? So we're getting back up to those old highs. Go out to like the daily. Let's see where they were because they were close to 2,000. Yeah, they got to 2,100. So maybe this is just a little bit of a rebound. Maybe it's the next leg higher. Not quite sure. Mike Maloney's the guy to ask about gold and silver.
For sure.
Yeah. BD, do you watch Mike Maloney?
Highly recommended. Yep, you watched them. Good job.
Yeah, good. Yeah, watch him. He's the guy for gold and silver.
All right, we're gonna get close to wrapping here. So if you guys got any final questions, let us know. But I got to run in a few minutes. Yeah,
and don't forget, cryptocurrencies are kind of going in the same way as the dollar. The dollar goes down. We have an inverse relationship between the dollar and cryptocurrencies. We have the dollar dropping significantly over the last couple of days. This morning, especially, and we saw cryptocurrencies starting to rally. So if you want to ask me something about crypto, I'm your guy.
All right. I very much appreciate all you guys that came to check us out for the first time. Welcome, welcome. And we do this very often. We used to do it Monday through Thursday. We're on a little bit of a break because we're getting around to November, December. We take a little bit of time to do things during the holidays, but we definitely want to continue this. We'll probably do it at least once a week, minimum. BD's got a projection on XLM. It's lagging. It's not following everybody yet.
Well, XLM was it was lagging a little bit, but all the cryptocurrencies went down, including XRP. XRP went down to like 23 cents. I think XLM typically is one of those sleepers that will just come out of nowhere and be up like 10% very, very quickly. So I still like XLM a lot. I did sell it at 82, as I mentioned last week. I reaccumulated some this morning at 73.7. Not my full position, but I did accumulate some. The other, I don't really like too many cryptocurrencies. I do like VET. I think VET under a penny here is a bargain.
Yeah, I saw it went back under a penny. It's like, oh, ding, 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 blue light special.
Yeah, just my opinion, but I think that's a bargain under a penny. Bitcoin just hit 15,037. XLM, VET, and XRP are my three favorite altcoins right now.
I like some HBAR as well. And EOS is an interesting one. If you want to read about that blockchain voting, the guy behind EOS has an interesting theory on that too. So I think he's driving some of that. So that's an interesting discussion. I like where he's starting the conversation at least. So check it out if you guys haven't seen that. Do some research. It's an interesting one.
Absolutely, I do like it. Yeah, there's a couple coins that I'm kind of keeping an eye on, but those are my three main ones right now. But there's some interesting ones out there for sure.
You're welcome for sure, Rick. And with that, we'll probably start to wrap it up here. So if you didn't see anything, for anybody that is looking for a membership or you need to have some good trading strategies and training and just helping out, I love helping people as much as possible. Dave's one that taught me years ago, so I'm trying to give him back as much as possible. Half price, use the coupon code ELECTION at the registration pages. ELECTION, just all one word. No year, no numbers, just the word. 50% off anything you see there, and I will put up. This will be recorded, or it has been recorded. It will be on YouTube, so I will include the links. But tradingology.com has them all on the page. Silver, Gold, Elite, Complete Market Timer System is at tradingology.com/MTS for Market Timer System. Everything is 50% off today and today only while we're doing this. So jump on it if you need it. If you got any questions, let me know. Support at tradingology.com. Or me directly is Dan at tradingology.com. And Dave is joining us from the Strong Market team. As always, Dave, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming and joining us. And we look forward to more. We'll just not going to be doing it every day right now. So let us know what questions you guys got.
Yep, my pleasure, guys. Hope you guys trade successfully. Make sure that you have the Market Timer scripts. I can't imagine trading without them. Just like I said, it's like getting into a plane without any instrument controls, and they are the very best on the market. So make sure you get them. Once you start using them, you won't be able to use anything else.
Yeah, it's data driven. We deal with probabilities and trying to give you that edge that you need. Nothing's guaranteed, but this sure helps a lot more.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks, Dan.
Have a great day, everyone. We appreciate you. Thanks, BD.
Appreciate it, BD. Take care.